Earlier this year, actress Lucy Fallon, who is 30, teased the drama set to unfold for her soap alter ego Bethany Platt, and admitted that fans will probably end up not really liking the character. When asked at the Grand National Festival at Aintree Racecourse if Bethany has any big stories coming up, Lucy replied, "She does. I can't tell you what it is, but it's not going to be great. I don't think people are going to be happy about it. This one is low-key her fault. Everyone is going to be like, she is AD***K. Which is fine." On the subject of whether she's hesitant to play out a plot in which Bethany would be seen as a baddie, Lucy said, "I don't mind what it is as long as it's a good one. Being in the Platts is a good family to be in. It's an amazing honor to get a storyline. I don't take it for granted at all." A development that aired this week in the ITV soap has now left a number of fans convinced they've worked out Bethany's new plot. And it involves her mom, Sarah. On Monday, Corey confirmed that Sarah was the person who killed the evil Theo. The two residents endured a showdown, leading to Sarah attacking Theo with a metal pole. Theo then fell over some scaffolding, plummeting to his death. The one person who has known all this time about Sarah killing Theo is Gary Windass, Mikey North. Both of them are desperate to keep the secret hidden, but that is practically impossible when you live in Weatherfield, let's be honest. Taking to social media platform X, audience members are now wondering if Bethany's new storyline will see her discover her mom's murderous secret, and then decide to shop her to the police. Mitch shared, "Bethany has a storyline coming up that's gonna make the fans hate her. What if she finds out Sarah killed Theo and for some reason decides to tell the police, and it sends Sarah to prison?" "That's a good theory," this fan said in response. Another audience member echoed this idea and posted, "Anyone else concerned that the thing Bethany does that Liffle says people will hate her for is gonna be linked to Sarah and the Theo situation? It would definitely be controversial, and for those who love Sarah, it would absolutely leave them unhappy with Bethany, as Lucy previously teased." Elsewhere, there is also a theory floating around that Sarah's partner Kit Green, Jacob Roberts, will grow closer to Bethany soon, possibly sparking an affair. They're both good ideas, and back up Lucy's previous comments, but who will end up being correct? Or will the plot be something else entirely? Discussing the reveal of Sarah being Theo's killer, and what it might mean for the character's future, actress Tina O'Brien previously said, "There was a lot of debate in the green room as soon as we were told there was going to be a murderer. A lot of people were playing Cluedo. First off, some of the cast got told that they were involved in the storyline, but they weren't the murderer. So by the time it got to me to go for my meeting, I was a bit like, I think it's me. But I genuinely didn't worry. At the end of the day, this job is incredible, but to be an actor is not necessarily a job for life. So, I just was really excited to be given the honor of being the murderer, and then hopefully, however it plays out, I'll enjoy Sarah's arc. I've literally been a big bag of nerves," she added, reflecting on how difficult it has been to keep the secret. "I told my mom, and I just recently told Scarlett, and my son Beau. Yeah. It's really hard having to keep it quiet for that long, especially when you're online. You're seeing all the chat on social media. Everyone's saying I think it's such a body, I think this, and I think that. Actually filming these scenes the weeks after have been the hardest thing I've ever filmed because I felt like my face looked guilty constantly, and I was like, everyone's going to know it's me instantly. So that's been really difficult. Life on the cobbles has never stayed peaceful for long, but for Sarah Platt, the next chapter could become the darkest of her life. As secrets pile up, loyalties are tested, and shocking betrayals come to light, fans are beginning to fear that Sarah's future may end not in Weatherfield, but behind prison bars. It all begins after Sarah believes she has finally managed to put months of chaos behind her. Following heartbreak, family feuds, and countless emotional battles, she throws herself into work, determined to rebuild her life. Friends notice a change in her. She's calmer, more focused, and finally starting to smile again. CoronationStreet, happiness rarely lasts. A mysterious financial scandal suddenly erupts at the factory, with thousands of pounds apparently disappearing from company accounts. The police launch an investigation almost immediately, and before long, suspicion falls on several employees. Sarah is stunned when detectives request to interview her, insisting that her name has appeared on documents connected to the missing money. She denies any involvement. At first, everyone believes it's simply an unfortunate misunderstanding. Even Carla insists Sarah would never steal from the business. David stands firmly beside his sister, convinced someone is framing her. However, the evidence continues to mount. Security records place Sarah inside the office late at night. Digital transfers appear to have been made using her login credentials. Even more damaging, investigators discover paperwork bearing what experts believe is Sarah's signature. The walls begin closing in. Sarah desperately tries to prove her innocence, but every explanation seems to create more questions than answers. Friends who once defended her begin wondering whether they're seeing the full picture. Meanwhile, viewers notice someone behaving strangely. Bethany watches every development with increasing anxiety. Rather than comforting Sarah, she seems distracted whenever the investigation is mentioned. She repeatedly changes the subject whenever police updates are discussed, and several awkward conversations leave fans convinced she's hiding something. Could Bethany know more than she's letting on? The mystery deepens when David accidentally discovers Bethany secretly meeting an unknown man in a quiet cafe outside Weatherfield. Their tense conversation immediately raises suspicions, especially when Bethany hands over what appears to be an envelope filled with documents. David follows her but loses sight of the stranger before learning his identity. When he confronts Bethany later, she refuses to explain herself. Her silence only fuels suspicion. Elsewhere, D.S. Swain receives an anonymous package containing fresh evidence that dramatically changes the investigation. Hidden inside are financial records, phone messages, and surveillance photographs that appear to place Sarah at the center of an organized fraud. The evidence looks overwhelming. Sarah herself cannot understand how someone has managed to build such a convincing case against her. As the pressure intensifies, cracks begin appearing within the Platt family. Gail pleads with Sarah to tell the whole truth if she's hiding anything, while Audrey fears history may be repeating itself as another member of the family faces criminal charges. Even Nick begins questioning whether Sarah has been completely honest. Feeling isolated, Sarah searches desperately for answers. Eventually she discovers something shocking. One of the documents used against her contains a tiny mistake, one that only someone extremely close to her would know. The forged paperwork includes an old